Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we've got a map which is based on a real-life location, that being Salida, Colorado. Or is it Salida? I don't know. I think it's Salida. Salida, Colorado. Although the creator has gone and placed their own custom network layout. Now, that is always a bit of a gamble, because custom layouts, sometimes they can just not work. I'll tell you, today's really does work. It's very good work today, the networking. Also, those of you that know me will know that I love a very subtle river system, and that's what we have here. It's not going to suit those of you that want a strong river system that you can pump your sewage into and draw your water out of, but if you like pretty rivers, I think it's one for you as well. One thing that is definitely for you is BonBonBingo. Play today. Link is in the description. And of course, those of you that really do like to interact with the show, now's the time for that daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Highland Pass by Lielanthris. Okay, this map's got something. I'm not quite sure what it is it's got, but it has got something, okay? In a good way, in a very good way. There's your start square, very pretty from up here. I don't think you can argue with that one. We've got terrain heights that are very buildable. All the big hills around the edge of the map, so loads of room to actually get in and do some grid sit if you like. Resources are a little bit weak. I'd like to see a little bit more in the resources, but still nice for a city build. And then we've got fishing, which is mostly salmon in that very weak river. Actually, it's not really a fishing map. Don't worry about the fishing. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC is required today. There is a one-click collection of 48 items. Oops, that's a little bit painful. Also, lots of trees, plus 500,000. So hopefully one of those items will be the unlimited tree mod. Now the items are in alphabetical order, which is very nice. I've got to say, it's just very nice. A whole bunch of trees and rocks, and they used a pretty strong effect. I've got one talking point regarding the grasses, specifically with the grasses today. Intersection marking tool, of course the map will not be broken if you don't have that, but still nice to have. The NAR, we've got roads and highways and railway replacer mod is there as well, and also the theme mixer too, which while it's listed there, there's no instructions of what to do with it, so it's a lovely mod to have, but we're running with the vanilla temperate theme because that's what automatically loaded. The realistic 1.2 LUT, and no unlimited tree mod listed, which means that some of these grasses may not appear, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I apologise if I'm a bit croaky today. This is a bad asthma day, okay? Now, I'm going to be fine. I know there's a lot of you worry, right? I'm not wired up to any machines or anything like that. It's never been that bad. But sometimes the meds just do not cut it, and today is one of those. Tomorrow I'm probably going to be fine. There's obviously some sort of trigger. Can't tell you what it is, because all I've done today is get out of bed, throw some clothes on, add a wash, clean my teeth. But I've done nothing unusual or been nowhere unusual. It's not really sunny outside for a pollen count or anything like that. And I am gasping for breath. I am all medded up as well. There's not really much more that I can do about it. So anyway, it's fine. I'm going to be fine. If it stays bad for 2 or 3 days, I shout the doctor. But on a one-off day, for it to be this bad, I can't remember the last time it was this bad on the one-off day. So my apologies, but I will keep trying to splutter those words out for you. Ooh, hear that wheeze. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, following the highways. Yeah, strong highway layout today. Strong standards of highway layout. I mean, the layout, it's just a crisscross. We've got the main highway running down the length of the map, kind of following the river, kind of. And then we have a a national road system running across the map, which intersects at the start square. Which again, when you see it, and we'll follow the national road once we get to that point. Oh, billboard. Oh, check this out. Check this out. Exit 44 right. Hooters. Right, we're just going to sit here and look at this for the rest of the show. No, I think we need to give it some owl service and take a right at the next intersection, which is coming soon. Nice use of billboards on today's map as well, not overdone, just a few here and there in the very American style, which, considering this is an American map with American roads and American rail, we can certainly allow for American billboards. So yes, the standards of the networking are strong and the routes taken make perfect sense. So the fact that we haven't actually got an exact replica of Salida, to me, really doesn't matter at all. In fact, if you said, don't bother checking BonBon, but this is the exact layout, I would believe you. Because there's no reason for this not to be the exact layout. So, yeah, all credit there. Coming down past another billboard there. Not looking at any more because they're billboards. I mean, what do you want? I could flog you. I mean, we're not sponsored by McDonald's, but there is a McDonald's. And also, we're not sponsored by Hooters either. But if Hooters want to send me some money, Hooters, your chance to sponsor the show. Anyway, as we head down, with nice rock work as well across the map. Just considering it's a flat-ish map, the rock work in the middle of the map where we got little flurries of rocks like that. Flurries? It's not quite quarries of rocks, is it? But yeah, splatterings of rocks like that, they all work really very nicely on the map. Help to bring it a little bit more alive, along with all the grasses. Now, obviously, I am playing with my standard settings. I have standard map settings unless there are otherwise instructed in the description. I stick with the same settings for every map. Like I always leave intersection marking tool turned on, so that if they do use it, which they have on this particular occasion, again, very nicely as well today, I would say. Although it's only really on this one intersection. Yeah, I would say that's good work. Now, the anarchy settings are going to mean that we're going to get... So there's your intersection. Oh, hang on. We've got a little bit of issue with traffic going on here. You know, they said Hooters at the next right. Maybe this is what they meant. Cars honking. Let me in. No. Yeah, you might want to upgrade this once you start building on it, because this is your start square. And I can see big tailbacks forming, possibly. Anyway, as I was trying to say before I noticed that, the little bit of clipping through of this asset, the rocks on the underside of the road there. Now that is down to anarchy settings. As by the way, so yeah, start square. Obviously mentioned that we're now driving through the main buildable area. With standard anarchy settings, that would not show through, and that would always be the case whenever you see roads popping through the underside. Because I'm having trouble breathing. Again, it's the rocks issue there as well. Because I'm having trouble breathing, I'm having trouble getting the right words out. So when you see rocks or trees showing through the underside of highways or whatever in one of my reviews, that's so that detailer maps can use these things for added effect. But there's no instruction to have it set like this. It's just so that we can get the most out of every map review. What we see down there at that intersection with the standard anarchy settings, the ones which do not show assets and props on map loading, they won't show through at all. So that is, for me, of all the detailing issues that you see, that is a very minor one. It's not even part of a tree count that I can grumble about. Hey, this is part of your tree count. It's a very minor issue, so I'm not breaking a sweat on it, but it is something that is notable. Yeah, I think that we'll go with the word notable today on that. Anyway, the national roads, I did tell you the national roads would cross the map, and I also said they would make sense. And does this national road feel like it shouldn't be here? Does this national road feel like it's in the wrong location? Does it feel like this is actually the real national road and that was the real highway? I would say the answer to all of those questions are yeah, apart from the ones where does it look wrong? No. But it does look and feel about right. A little bit of encroaching grasses going on there and there as well, again through the anarchy settings. But we're heading off towards the edge of the map, which will mean that we'll be able to switch across to the rail. And the rail is also very good, so let's not break a sweat on that one either. Where are we? Where is the edge of the map? Where is the edge of the map over here? Let's pull back the camera a little bit. I can't see. I can't. Look, I want to get to the intermission so that I can get a grasp of air. A gasp of air. Right, okay, down to the rail. Rail is, again, fine. Nothing too exciting. We do have some grasses encroaching onto the rail line. Grass is obviously far less important encroaching, because that can happen, than trees. And as long as we don't have any trees growing out of the line, then I think that would class as a win as well. And we don't have any trees encroaching onto the line. Looks like they're going to be though, doesn't it? It does look like there's going to be. But no. Yeah, this is one of those maps that I found very hard with the ratings at the end, because, well, it's nice. It's nice. The stuff like the slightly encroaching grasses, or the mixes of grasses as well. Questions. That's all they are. And while the rail line winds a little bit here, it's following the elevation lines. Could it have been straight with an embankment? It could have been straight with an embankment. But it also can't fault not moving all of that soil and just sticking to the line. I think makes perfect sense. I'm still with you. So yes, the rail line, perfectly good. So yeah, in terms of giving this map some ratings, and I got to the end, it was really very difficult. I had this one in some area. In fact, in most areas, I could find an argument for 4 stars, but then I could find an argument for not giving it 4 stars. And that was my big challenge with this map. Was, would I play on this? I'm very happy to play on this one. Aesthetically, I find it very pleasing. I'm very happy to play with mods. So all of those are positives for me. The grasses, we'll take a look at the grasses in the second half of the show as well. But for me, I feel that these sort of grasses, as clusters as they've been done there, I don't know that they really work for me as part of a large ground coverage. I like the grasses in terms of, oh, here's our junction. That'll go off where we started. And this one goes off probably into the hills. Might be worrying. Promise you it's not, but we'll follow it anyway. But yes, when you've got grasses, I think they're great for detailing. Little clusters and little areas. Covering large areas like this, it does affect frame rate, so those of you that are struggling with frame rate might not like this too much. But also, I feel that the grasses find a theme that's got a really interesting grass texture and just use this for emphasis in little areas rather than huge swathes. So that for me is a bit of an issue with the grasses. But anyway, we're at that intermission. I'm going to go get some oxygen. I'll see you in a moment. Back to Highland Pass by Lielanthris, and well, there's no shipping routes, not in that little river, but we do have an air route, so if you're looking to pop down an airport, it does follow the entire length of the valley. So you're good, you're covered, everything should be happy. And I can breathe at the moment, just at the moment. Give it 30 seconds and that'll be it. I'll be tight again. Water flow, yeah, I've already told you, it's a very shallow light river. It's a very pretty shallow light river. But it's a very shallow light river. Lots of these rocky bits encroaching into it. But I guess you might be able to find a way of working this one into vanilla base game. maybe. But I think it's just one of those to gloss over and use mods, probably. Okay, let's have a look at the map as a whole. Because remember, this is a vanilla theme. If we were using a custom theme, this would pop. This would really pop. Custom theme, stronger LUT, very nice. We've already got power down and power lines down to the start square, as you can see there. Got the dirt track leading down, a bit of a level crossing thing going on there as well. And then aesthetically, the shapes of the trees and the grasses, I'm loving them. And again, the rock work, like this area here, really loving the rock work. In fact, if we're lucky, somewhere in that rock work is, oh, here we go for the bingo players, rocking and holing. Rocking and holing. Anyway, yes, let's head up and have a look at these hills. Remember, these hills are for backdrop. You can not be doing any building. This is out of the 25 tiles. We have got the 81 tile mod listed as a recommended, but they're just there for visuals in the distance. Over here, you can, in theory, get up into some of these. A little bit of light detailing in here with trees as well, trees and grasses. Not the easiest to get into, but there is the option. And then as we head down and shall we have a look at the grasses and the trees? Yes, let's come down and have a look at the grasses here. So we've got quite a swathe, quite a mix of different things going on here. And like I say, we've got over 500,000. Of course, some of these aren't going to show up if you don't have the unlimited tree mod. Some of these are not going to show up anyway, which again, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I guess it's which ones don't show up. Is it just the left-hand side of the map? Is it just the right-hand side? Is it just the grasses? I'm not quite sure how they... maybe one of the modders out there can explain to me how these things are decided by the game. We've got plenty of rapid... Voices going again. Got plenty of rapids to navigate, and it's very pretty. It's very pretty. I'm sure there's some technical issues going on there in terms of water flow, but do you know what? I don't mind too much. It's pleasing enough to be fine. And pleasing enough to be fine is today's asset. It's a monster. And not literally a Godzilla. We've done Godzilla. Now this one is the Western Union building by Cateinum. Cateinum. Oh, well, I've been saying Cateinum up until now. I'm not quite sure. Probably because I'm an idiot. Can't read. But yeah, Western Union building. It's one of those landmarks in New York that you probably recognise from the movies if you've never been to New York. And it's an amazing asset. Cateinum are definitely one of the new stars of the workshop, and very appreciated they are too. Factoids, because factoids. Frank Sinatra, I've heard of him, was once quoted as saying that rock and roll was only played by cretinous goons. Ah, cretinous goons. Reminds me of a quote. A friend of mine who used to work at B&Q, it's a hardware store in the UK, said that he had a lesson from his manager and said the customer is always right, but the customer is a cretin. Yeah, I wouldn't go quite so far as to say that. Western Union building by Cateinum. That is very nice work indeed. Good to get, I would say. Anyway, where were we? Ah, yeah. Highland Pass by Lielanthris. And the wheezing subside. I can breathe. Hey, I think you've cured me, guys. It's a little bit there. It's a little bit heavy, but I'm okay. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. But the big question as always is, what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I feel that we're looking at something that is either a very high 3 stars or a very low 4 stars. I'm thinking it's more of the 4-star map. But given that there's no unlimited tree mod, there's going to be a missing amount of trees because we've not been told to subscribe to it. So I'm going to say, or maybe we were, but there's no link. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go down to a medium high 3, but it is for me a 4-star map. Detailing, borderline 3 to 4 stars. Let's go very low 4. Very low 4. Just. I don't know really. Gameplay. I feel this is very playable. Again, if you want that strong river system, it's not. But for those of you that like a nice detail map, a nice simple map, yeah, 4 stars. Low 4 stars though. You will want to fix the traffic in that start square though. That will be a priority for you. Because once you start building, that is going to back up very quickly indeed. So anyway, that's certainly how I feel about today's map. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And of course, whilst you are down there in the comments, you know what's coming. If you're part of the 29 Elite, use the word of the day. I don't cook this stuff up, you know. Get yourself some population points just for fun. And of course, store them somewhere very safe because you don't want any of your neighbours stealing them. And I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great day. See you very, very soon. I'm off for a wheeze.